Stop, drop, and roll.
Punch the clock.
10-minute podcast.
And today, we got episode 3 now. You know, the last one.
The last two.
Last one, we kind of went deep
They've
with
been
y'all.
going up. Y'all got to go back and check them out.
The last one went deep with y'all, man. We talked about therapy and stuff like this. So we going to see what we're going to do today, all right? So as we always do, we let the lady pick the topic of the day.
All right, let's see what we got. And if you guys want your ideas in here, just send them to us. Comment them, DM them, whatever the case
put
may
them right
be.
in here.
We're going to drop them in there.
And hopefully it comes up. We'll have your tag on there too. So
you ready?
Got y'all.
You ready?
You ready?
You punch the clock?
Punch the clock.
Oh, I picked the short one. Thank God. Okay. Don't believe the hype. Public enemy. Don't believe the hype. The story. You have a friend who constantly jumping on. Lord have mercy. You have a friend who's constantly jumping on every new trend, but it feels like they're losing themselves. Ooh. Are we too influenced by social media trends or public opinions?
You asking me that.
Or is it natural to want to be a part of the crowd? Who is just
yeah.
But it's the song. Don't believe the hype. Public enemy. Okay, I like it.
Don't believe the hype. Yes, we are in a society where trends are doing what they need to do. Trend. But at the same time, I do believe you can lose yourself following certain trends, depending on what it may be. The reason being is because we live in a society where people are easily incepted upon. Incepted is when you are actually having an idea from somebody else told to you, and you automatically believe it. It's called inception. It's a movie too, by the way. But it's kind of deep too, right? But say that to say, right now you're not thinking about M&Ms, right? But you see M&Ms on TV. I want to get M&Ms. That's inception. All right? Programming. That's what it is. So I feel like a lot of people are easily programmed because they are not doing deep work within themselves.
I agree with all of that.
You know, that's really what it is. Your programming is your programming. And whatever you believe, you can believe it. But at the same time, you're going to realize that you're not even following the principles that you grew up on.
What principles are that? Because I don't feel like a lot of people are even, you know, when we was growing up, social media and phones and stuff wasn't even around anymore.
That's true.
You know, and when you call someone's house, it was a landline. Mm-hmm. And if grandma was calling, you had to talk to grandma. You'd be like, hey, how was school today? How them grades going? Mm-hmm. And the family connection was there. That's not so much the case no more. It's all about I. Like, even with like groups and stuff, people feel like they got to be the smartest, the richest, the biggest. Like, they don't understand how to be in a group no more. I don't know the word. Like, it's weird. Mm-hmm. And it's just like how you just said, folks forget that this music, this entertainment and all this stuff, it's entertainment. It's not real. Like, none of these rappers and female or male.
Yeah.
Okay, are living what they're talking about. Because if you sit here and look, I listen to female rap. That's number one. So I'm listening to all of them. Yeah. And none of them are living like that in their life. And they tell you that. Like, they are saying that in these interviews and these podcasts that they got a man at home. They not trying to sit here and say, F that man, he ain't nothing. I'm always about a bag. No, they're not saying that. Like, they're at home really understanding what a partnership is. Mm-hmm. Why you think JT been with, what's his name, Lil Ooze, whatever?
It was at work.
Yeah, that one. They've been together for years. So I'm just saying something's going on right there. Like, Lotto can say she got her man. We don't know who it is, but she got somebody. You see what I'm saying?
It's power in hiding people too. I'm just letting y'all know that. It's power with having your relationship away.
Is it hiding though?
Huh?
Is it hiding?
No, not hiding. I would say it's protecting your peace.
Yeah.
It's a method to it. I used to feel weird sometimes with people like wouldn't like they don't say anything about their partner on social media like that. I used to be like, oh man, why they do that, whatever. But I had to understand that I personally was in a marriage that was like that. Like I've never really posted my ex-wife and stuff like that because she was a very private person, so I respected that for her. And some people have partners that are like that. Like, I don't want you to post nothing on social media.
So do you feel like that's being sneaky and secretive?
At first
or is
I
that
did.
projections?
At first I did. I believed it was projection. Because I was like, why not? You know, but like I said, reference points, I can't tell you you're wrong about how you feel.
Yeah.
I can't tell you that you're wrong about how you feel.
Yeah.
I can say that I feel your perspective may be kind of skewed, but I can't tell you you're wrong. And as I learned about that.
Yeah, I used to be one of those women who would like post me, do all this stuff. And the older I got, the older I'm getting, it's like my values have changed. Like I don't really care about all that anymore. Like I just really care about being more impactful, meaningful, like making sure this is really something that can grow into something bigger. But that's just dating with attention.
It's exactly attention and purpose. I think that's the biggest piece. But a lot of people now don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like I felt like it was times I felt like I'm ready to be in a relationship. Then I had times where I'm like, I'm still not ready, or I'm still working on things within myself to be prepared to be a husband and stuff like that. And I pray about it a lot because I'm like, when we're at the age that we are at, like, hey, how are we going to, do this? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to be better? How are you going to be that ideal person, not ideal person, but the person closest to that 90 percentile for yourself? How are you going to do that?
Yeah.
You got to do a lot of deep work. You got to do a lot of prayer. You got to do a lot of things. And I think a lot of people are in relationships where they're not developing.
So I feel like relationships is just about, can you help me pay this rent? Like, it's really what that is. Like, I feel like it's a trend to say that they are in relationships. Not a lot of people know how to stand on their own feet.
Yep. And then they're not happy.
No.
And what I mean by it is, like, it's people that are in relationships right now, and I know people probably watching this, like, you probably are sad you coming home. Like, your kids against you, and if you're in a situation where you got a multi-family situation where you ain't my stepdad, you ain't my dad, and, you in a toxic environment. And I got to find the scripture. There's a scripture out there that literally says, like, I got to find it. It's a scripture that says basically the man, and I'm going to read.
Okay, so why you finding it? So this what I'm thinking right here, people. Right, because I'm an Aquarius. Shout out to my Aquarius, because we just divine in so many shape, fashion, and forms, right? A lot of people aren't feeling comfortable enough to be themselves. Not myself, because Aquarians were one-on-one. God broke that mode. You ready?
Yeah,
but let me finish my little thought.
I got
you. Okay. It's okay to be you. Like, it's okay. Like, being you is what makes you different. It's what attracts the right people to you for you to be genuine. Like, you don't have to follow a crowd. And I know it's much easier to feel like you need to belong to something or a community. Mm-hmm. And I know it really sucks to feel like you're on the outside looking in. But if you look to your right and your left and you're on the outside, it's a lot of people right there with you. So build your community with people who are wanting to see you do better, wanting to see you be who you want to be.
Exactly.
And not only that, help you get there. Like, that's all it is. Find your community, find your tribe, and stop trying to keep up with the Jones.
Yeah.
Become the Simpsons.
Yep. And cut off things that no longer serve you.
Period. Because
Yeah, exactly.
And you gotta go. I'm real quick about it.
Exactly.
You got one time with me, half of one time.
Yeah, that's it. You gotta have tolerate. You gotta have your limit. But the scripture is Matthew 10:36, is the New International Version. It says, "A man's enemies will be members of his own household."
Say it again.
A man's enemies will be the members of his own household. This don't say no maybe or possibly. It's like will be.
So what you're saying is you're a product of your environment.
Yeah.
So if your environment is negative, then that means you're going to be negative.
Yeah.
So how can you be a positive person in a negative environment? How can you change that?
One thing I do know, the light can never be stopped.
Right.
It can't. And your positive mindset is going to change your life. And I'm not talking about being the overly sometimes delusional, optimistic. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about literally understanding that everything takes a process. And in life, like I said this week, life is a feeling process, but it's also a healing process. Because you got to think about it. Each year you go.
Oh my gosh. Can I tell the story? It just came to my mind. You just, okay.
You punch the clock, dude.
Okay, yeah, let me punch the clock. Okay, so I remember reading this somewhere that there was, I think this is a Chinese story, but it was a guy walking past a fire and he saw a snake in the fire. And so his intentions was to save the snake. So he reached in there to pick him up out because he was going to burn to death. Yeah. And when he picked up the snake, he bit him. So he dropped him back into the fire. Yeah. And so he went back in and he picked up the snake and then he moved him out of the fire, but the snake bit him again. So he dropped him. And there was a spectator and came over and said, "Hey, why would you help this snake and it's bit you twice?" And the man looked at him and did like a little smirk and said, "The nature of the snake is to bite. My nature is always to help."
Ooh.
So what was that scripture again? I feel like that was very on point with each other.
It is. It's the truth. It's where we at, man. I just think that where we are, we're in a space now where you can cultivate yourself, man.
Yeah.
You really can. Just focus on you, like we talked about before. Like, focus on you. It's your time. It's your turn to choose you. Like, and help others along the way. But also, kind of understand you the forefront.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can't help nobody without helping yourself. By the punch clock.
You must have watched it.
Yeah, I watched it.
All right, y'all got to tune back in. Let us know, how do you stay positive in a negative environment?
Facts.